Hey, light bangs, hey, light bangs, hey, light bangs. I'm back. um, for some reason, I always do videos and cheese. And for some reason, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, um, duality, right? Good and bad, up and down, in and out, back and forth. Yin and yang, good and evil. Dualities, balance, masculine and feminine. Duality, balance. For some reason, I don't know why. This just came to me, but I wanted to talk about it. Like, I'm learning that for every cause, there is an effect, right? You can't have one without the other. They exist simultaneously at the same time to help to balance each other out. And I just heard twin flames, soulmates. Mm, I'm hearing, I'm sorry, I'm channeling messages right now. I apologize. But teammates, partners, helpmates, man and woman, boy and girl, up and down, in and out. And the cycle they go round about. Duality. Nothing exists without its opposite. For every opposite, there is a change. I'm sorry, I'm channeling. So a chain or change. A chain, a link. I apologize. I'm like, I needed that to be clear. for, for every opposite, there is a chain, a link, something that connects one concept to that of another. The law of duality, the meshing, the joining of two, all right? Right and left. Happy, sad. Joy, pain. Like, for duality. This planet is all about cyclical, cyclical, cyclical. I'm hearing cyclical. Okay, cyclical motion, circular motion, right? It's always moving in a circle. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen the serpent biting the tail. It's an image, I'm seeing an image of the serpent, the snake biting his tail, the serpent biting his tail. And it's always constantly moving in a circular motion. Hell, our planet spins in a circular motion. It rotates circular on a daily basis because there's 24 hours in the day, 12 hours of day and 12 hours of night. The earth is constantly spinning over and over, right? And as it's twirling around, it's also moving around the sun. Circular motion, duality, day and night, balance. You cannot have one without the other, because without the other, the one would not exist. That's deep. Think about that. Let that resonate for a second. You cannot have one without the other, because without the other, the one would never exist. Now, that is like a double entendre because it's like you're talking about numbers, but you're also talking about a concept, right? And first, the law of duality. it's like a boomerang effect, right? It's it's like karma and dharma, the balance of positive and negative energy and the balance of positive and negative results that are sent out into the atmosphere or the ethers or into the universe, right? What you give is what you get. What you put out is what you get back, right? Duality. For every cause there is an effect. For every action or motion there is a counter action or reaction or motion, right? And so it's important because you have to learn how to balance the two. Although they exist, or the concept is relevant, or the concept is relative, it can also exist in a state of inconsistency and imbalance. And when that happens, chaos ensues, destruction ensues. The realm is out of sync. The mind is out of sync. The dimension is off kilter. The plane, the plane is just not a plane, right? It's just, right? And so you have to learn how to recognize your standpoint and the realms and laws of duality, right? Where is your focal point? What is your focal point? How does this law apply to you, or how are you applying this law to yourself? Internally, we are not just a physical body. We are not just arms, legs, muscles, and things of that nature. We, sorry, excuse me. I don't feel great. I'm pushing myself just a little bit. Um, we are more than just a physical body. We are also an energetic and spiritual being. What I'm learning, excuse me, what I'm also learning though is not everyone has a soul. And that's new. That's new information that I'm receiving. Oh, something do not want me to talk about this. Because what? Thank you. Not everything has a soul. And I, I not everything has a soul. We have NPCs, non playable characters, that exist or live among us. I don't. Why? Why? I'm so sorry. Because I'm really doing my best to channel this message without laughing about. Because it's like, what? Like, my spiritual mind is like, come on, sis, get it together. My carnal mind, like, what the fuck you talking about? Bro, the internal battles I be having sometimes just be like, what, sis? Like, can we pick a struggle, please? Can we just. Oh, shit. My bad. I'm sorry. They say laughter is the best medicine. Baby, when I tell you, I'm not feeling the greatest. And I'm not about to go back and edit this video. This video about to be the way it is, whatever it is, however it come out, it's going to be however it come out. Sorry, but not sorry. Right? But not every living thing or not everything around us has a soul. We have NPC, non-playable characters, right? Robots that are around us that are put in place. That are put in place to play a part, right? Even sometimes us as people are used as NPCs in other people's lives, non-playable characters. We just around. We just happen to be the pivot or the not the pivot. We happen to be the I'm here focal point pivot. No, what is the word? Pivot to me, y'all. I don't feel good. I'm sorry. Um, sometimes we are the pinnacle. Sorry, we are that pinnacle or that catalyst in a situation that tips the balance, right? Sometimes you are that catalyst that tips the balance in a situation. Like the law of duality says that one cannot exist without the other, right? That there's always a a two-sided part of it. Like when you think about a quarter, right? On the one side of the quarter is the face or the head. On the other side of the quarter is the eagle or whatever little state picture that's on the coin, right? But for every coin, it's always two sides, right? And my uncle, I love my uncle. I did because I love his analogy when he was talking about this. He was like, "There's no such thing as right or wrong." I'm like, "What the fuck you talking about?" Like, what? I don't pause, play that back. And he was like, "Go get a quarter." And I went and got the quarter, and I was like, "All right, I got the quarter. What's the point?" And he was like, "Now look at the quarter. What do you see?" And I was like, "I see a head." He was like, "No, no, it's not. It's an eagle." And I'm like, "The fuck you talking about?" I'm looking at the head on this side of the coin. And he's like, "No, it's not. It's a head on that side, but it's an eagle on my side." You got to understand that although there is duality, you have to understand that there is truth from both sides, right? For every truth, someone may say that that's a lie, right? They may say that's not what it is, or that's not how it went down, or that's not what I took in, or what I perceived, or what I expressed, or what I put out. Right? It's duality. It's two sides to the same situation or scenario. And so I was like, well, I got one better for you out because the quarter has a rim. So at some point in time, the two sides have to meet and match to create the rim, to create that smooth edge that holds the two sides together, right? It's the rim of it. And that rim is the line where the truth meets, where the two sides find a match or a point of connectivity that that brings the balance. So yes, when you're looking at the situation from your side, this is what you see because you're looking through your lenses. You're looking with your perspective. You're looking with your intuition, with your knowing, your heart, your mind, right? You're looking with what your knowledge allows you to perceive it as. That does not mean that your perspective is always right, right? I just talked about heroes and villains, right? Does not mean your perspective is always right. Your perspective is your truth in the matter. It is your vantage point, your view, your understanding in the matter. However, it does not mean that your truth is somebody else's truth because they are looking at it from a totally different side. So, from the outside looking in, duality, right? I'm outside of it looking into it. I'm seeing it from this perspective. But when you are in it and you're looking out, you're seeing from a totally different perspective. And so I don't know why I was drawn to make this video. It just kind of, I had to go to the bathroom and I was sitting there and I was just like, yeah. Duality. Mm. Up and down, in and out, left and right, back and forth, good and bad, yin and yang. It's a balance. And I said it in a previous video. I'm not gonna make this super long, but I said it in my previous video. For every cause there's an effect. There has to be a hero and a villain. There has to be a good side and a bad side. Because without the bad side, there will be no such thing as good. Without the good, there will be no such thing as bad. What determines something to be good or bad? Because what may be bad to somebody may actually be good for them, and what may be good to somebody may actually be the worst thing that could ever fucking possibly happen. Duality. It's all about perspective. It's all about how you choose to look at or see a situation. And when you begin to step outside of your own personal perspective on it, perspective or vantage point or point of view, and you begin to try or attempt to see it from someone else's side, then you've come full circle. You've moved into the realm of empathy, right? You've moved into the realm of compassion, understanding, right? Because not only do you see it from your perspective or your vantage point or your side, but now you can also understand and see it from someone else's perspective, vantage point, and inside too, right? And so, um, prime example, um, my coworker, like when I say he's probably one of the best coworkers I've worked with in a good little minute, we be butting heads. In my mind, we be butting heads. In my mind. In my mind, I feel like I'm not doing enough. I feel like my coworker doing everything and I'm only doing a bare minimum. And my coworker was like, you do know that balance doesn't look like what we think balance is, right? And I was like, pause. Talk about Frank. If we supposed to be doing this activity together, then I'm supposed to be meeting you halfway. So if you doing 50, I'm supposed to be doing 50, right? And he was like, I'm gonna stop you right there. And I'm like, help me understand. He was like, you have to understand that as long as we're meeting 100, then we are putting in our effort. You got to think about where you are. Sometimes I don't have that full 50, right? Sometimes I don't got that full 50. Sometimes I got 20. I got 20 for you today, right? And my partner's like, all right, I got the 80. Balance. Sometimes balance doesn't look like how we think balance should look, right? It's duality, perspective. And I was just like, what? he was like, he was like, yo, you do more than you give yourself credit for. You do more than you realize you do. Where my perspective, I'm like, I ain't doing shit. I could do more. I feel like I'm doing the bare minimum. I feel like crap, but I'm here. I'm gonna do what I can, and I'm gonna make it work because we about to roll, shorty. And he was like, no, you say it like that because that's how you look at it, but you show up more than you realize. And I'm just like, damn, I ain't see it like that. And I had my supervisor break it down for me differently. She was like, you put yourself in this construct, basically. Like you've constructed this basically wall around yourself to see things a certain way. And when somebody challenges it, you like, it gotta fit in this. It gotta fit in this mold. It gotta look like this. And she was like, no, it don't. Who the fuck said it gotta look like that? The job is being done, yes, and the job is being done effectively, but effectively and efficiently might not look like how the supervisor or the boss or whoever thinks it should look, right? Like the best way she explained it to me was like, you know, your coworker might do the whole entire lesson plan, but you implement this shit out the lesson plan, right? Or your coworker might bring all the supplies and you organize them and make sure everybody has what they need. Or you work with the kids directly to give your coworker a break. Like she was like, you gotta look at it from a different perspective. Like if your coworker is telling you or your partner is telling you, you know, they got it, trust that they got it. If your partner is telling you that you're doing XYZ PDQ, trust that you were doing XYZ PDQ. Stop allowing yourself to sabotage the situation because sometimes we don't see duality as what we think. We think that duality means it has to be equal amount of this or has to be balanced. Balance can look like a spinning top on top of a hill. And the spinning top is what's holding the whole hill together, even though the hill is huge and the top is tiny. I've seen nature art, nature. That was country, natural art where it's this guy. He builds like rock rock formations, right? And he takes these really huge rocks, but they're all being balanced on the tiniest pebble or stone, and they keep everything up. And if that little tiny pebble or stone is shifted or moved or just touched the wrong way, everything crumbles. And so it makes me think of the scripture when God was saying it's something about the cornerstone, right? I'm about to Google it. The cornerstone, right? Or what? Built, let me see, Ephesians 2 and 20. Built on the foundation of the apostles and the prophets with Christ Jesus himself as the chief cornerstone. The stone the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. Psalms 118:22. Isaiah 28:16. See, I lay a stone in Zion, a tested stone, a precious cornerstone for a firm foundation. Matthew 21:42. Jesus quotes Psalms 118:22, claiming this prophecy about himself. It says, in ancient construction, the cornerstone was the first stone set in a foundation, determining the alignment and stability of the entire structure. In the Bible, it signifies that Jesus is the foundation of salvation, rejected by many, but chosen by God to hold up the entire church. And it's funny because there are three stones, three L-shaped stones that are being balanced on each other. And I was talking about duality and I was talking about balance and I was talking about how it all plays a part in the outcome of your whole existence, right? Excuse me. In the outcome of your whole existence, you have to find the balance in your life, right? And you have to find how to, I'm sorry, I was reading it. You have to find that, dichotomy, right? You have to find that point that helps you to be able to stand tall and stand strong and not allow the constructs of life to tear you down to the point where as though you don't move forward, right? I said for every action, there's a reaction. For every cause, there's an effect. For every up, there's a down. For what's going on the inside, it's also being projected and relayed on the outside. For every action, there is a reaction, right? Duality. And it goes so far as to understanding the relationship between yourself and other people, right? The relationship may not always produce or give what you think it should at that point in time, but that relationship gave you exactly what your soul, what your being needed in order for it to seek and or find its balance in the universe. Okay. So I'm not gonna go any deeper. I want to explain more. Unfortunately, I do not feel good. And I have been fighting it. And I'm ready to go to sleep. And sleep is always the best medicine to me. But I really do sincerely pray that all the light beings and love bugs that watch my videos find the balance in themselves and in the world around them so that they can keep the balance and or shift the balance how they need to shift the balance to make it right or make it work or find peace within themselves or peace within that situation or to develop peace within the realms in which they reside. And I'm going to leave this message here because what? With light, love, and positive energy, and always remember to thine own self be true. I say, Ashe, Ame, Amen, say. Peace and good night.